vision, leadership, workplace-related topics. The Voices of Victory podcast show. Subscribe today. Let's go.
Vision, leadership, self-esteem, workplace-related topics.
Subscribe.
The Voices of Victory podcast show.
Voices of Victory.
Vision,
Voices of Victory.
leadership,
Voices of Victory.
workplace-related topics.
The Voices of Victory.
Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory.
It's time for the show. You are now listening to the Voices of Victory podcast show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mario Di Leone.
Good morning and welcome to Voices of Victory podcast. And today is going to be a micro insight edition. And as you know, the micro insight edition has 4 steps to each key point. We have the problem, the mindset, the action, and the execution. Now let's go ahead and go straight into it right now. No further ado. We're going to go into overcoming imposter syndrome. So first we talk about the problem. The problem is feeling like you don't belong or don't deserve success. That's the problem. The mindset is that imposter syndrome is a common experience and it doesn't reflect true reality. Let me say that again. It doesn't reflect true reality. The action is you got to recognize when you're actually experiencing self-doubt and challenge it. Challenge it with actual evidence of your own accomplishments. The execution of this is write down 3 recent successes and remind yourself of the hard work behind them. Now, we can elaborate a little bit further. Imposter syndrome can make you feel like you're quote-unquote unqualified for any type of success, anything you've earned, even when you have clear evidence of your abilities. And to counter this, you've got to acknowledge the feeling and challenge it by reviewing your actual achievements. Write down specific successes that help ground you in reality. Help you understand that you are qualified, you are deserving, and you can indeed do this. This small act is going to reinforce your competence, and it's going to build self-confidence over time. The next problem is doubting your abilities despite your achievements. So you've had achievements and now you're still doubting yourself. Well, the mindset here is you got to understand that growth is a process and expertise comes with time and experience. And you know what? Action is important. You have to be able to shift your focus to the continuous journey of learning and improvement. You are growing, shaping, and changing. You're constantly in the process. And you could use that as a piece of self-talk. I am in the process of whatever you're learning. The execution of this is list one area that you want to improve and take small, actionable steps towards growth. And the reason why they're small, by the way, is because there's less emotional resistance. Now, even high achievers experience moments of doubt. You have to understand that. Especially when trying something new or stepping outside of their comfort zone. You're going to the edge of your comfort zone into the discomfort zone ever so slightly, and you're working on something new. And if you are not going at it in small little ways, then you're going to overwhelm yourself and backslide very quickly. So rather than expecting instant perfection, shift your perspective to view every challenge as a learning opportunity. Take time to identify areas where you can actually improve and create a little plan to help you develop your skills. Just remember, growth happens incrementally each day, each day, each day. And guess what? Every small effort contributes to your overall progress. Now, the next problem we run into is feeling like a fraud and fearing being found out. The mindset is that literally your expertise develops over time and everyone has moments of doubt. The action is you got to embrace your mistakes, view them as learning opportunities rather than failures, and understand that everyone's opinion doesn't really define who you are. The execution is when you make a mistake, reflect on what you learn, reflect deeply on what you learn, and how it actually helps you grow. Try to find the wisdom nugget or the insight within the mistake that's actually going to help you become a stepping stone to move you forward. And that's the thing. Every mistake should be reframed as a stepping stone. And that's important. So if you feel like a fraud, it's a hallmark of imposter syndrome. You got to recognize that everyone, even the most experienced professional, they have doubts and they make mistakes. Expertise is not something you're born with. Mastery is development. It's developed through continuous learning, trial and error. When you make a mistake, take the moment, reflect on the lesson, reflect on the insight, and how it can bring you closer to your goals. The next problem is comparing yourself to others. This is the mother of all screw-ups. Your mindset should be comparison steals joy and detracts from your personal progress. Remember these words for the rest of your life. Their journey is not your journey. Your journey is not their journey. You are unique as a fingerprint, period. The action is focus on your strengths, your journey, your unique value, and guess what? You bring those special things to the table, recognize them. And the execution of this is create a personal strengths inventory on paper and pen, traditionally. Review it whenever you feel that self-doubt creep in. Constantly comparing yourself to others is just going to fuel insecurity, prevent you from actually appreciating your own journey. Everyone has different experiences, different backgrounds, different timelines. And you know what? We're seeing this more and more out there because what people are doing is looking to social media and all those quote unquote experts that are out there, and they're comparing themselves to those expert people, not realizing that you have your own journey. Part of being vulnerable is realizing that you have your own journey. And that's the whole thing. You got to write down your strengths, revisit them often. Now, another problem, and this is the last one, is that if you feel undeserving of success or any recognition, you got to have the mindset that success is earned through effort, not by luck, not by chance, not by comparison, not by following other people. Mindsets can be utilized. You could get mindsets from other people, but you got to remember, at the end of the day, their journey is not your journey. We try to template match other people's thinking, and there are ways and systems that you can adopt, but you got to be very careful of what you're adopting. The execution here is practice saying thank you when you receive praise, okay, instead of deflecting it. Now, many people with imposter syndrome, they struggle to even accept any compliment whatsoever because they feel that the mere recognition of it is like they haven't earned it. But success is rarely due just to, it's rarely just pure luck. It is consistent effort over time. And it's, of course, hard work. When someone does give you like a genuine compliment, just say thank you. And it can be very neutral when you say it. You don't have to get so excited. You don't have to get so sad. You'd be like, hey, thanks. No problem. This is just a simple act that literally internalizes the recognition and reinforces your self-worth. And that's all there is for today. I'll see you on the next episode.